Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Ipshita Bansal from BPS Women's University, Sonipat, Haryana. Today we will be discussing about the module Contribution of Jainism to Human Quality Development of the paper Indian Perspectives on Human Quality Development. After completing this module, the students will be able to understand the principles of Jainism, appreciate the contribution of Jainism to human quality development. Jainism is one of the oldest and major religions of the world today. Its origin lie in India. Jainism is more of a philosophy, a way of living, rather than a religion. Jain traditions traces its origin back through almost limitless time, nearly 3000 years of history. Jain thought and Jain philosophy is considered timeless. Jainism is nature in the purest and truest form. It is as old as nature, which has neither beginning nor any end. The mission of Jainism is the mission of nature, which is to work for the welfare of one and all, to rise from the pitfall of ignorance and inaction to the spiritual climax of infinite bliss and perfect knowledge, that is, absolute freedom. In his book, Scientific Foundations of Jainism, a textbook for a degree course at De Montfort University, United Kingdom, Professor K.V. Madhya says, Jainism is a science with religion, since it strives to give a unified scientific basis for the whole cosmos, including living and non-living entities. Thus, it is a holistic science which encompasses everything. Jain science is very much qualitative. However, Jain science goes beyond modern science in many ways, but rarely do the two conflict. Dr. L.P. Tessitori, an Italian scholar, extols Jaina religion and philosophy in following terms. Jaina philosophy and religion is of very high order. It is not only my inference but also my experience that its fundamental principles are based on science. As physics advances, it supports the principles of Jaina religion and philosophy. Regarding Jain religion, Dr. Hermann Jacobi, a great German scholar, remarks, "Let me assert my conviction that Jainism is an original system, quite distinct and independent from all others, and therefore it is of great importance for the study of philosophical thought and religious life in ancient India." Important principles of Jainism. Jainism has given to the world following important theories: theory of non-violence, theory of anekantavad, theory of karma, and theory of aparigraha. Theory of non-violence and encouragement of social welfare. The most distinctive contribution of Jainism is theory of non-violence, that is, principle of ahimsa or non-injury to living beings. Lord Mahavira emphasized the basic fact that every living being has sanctity and a dignity of its own, and therefore one must respect it as one expects one's own dignity to be respected by others. He emphasized that life is sacred, irrespective of species, caste, color, creed, or nationality. Lord Mahavira strongly advocated that the concept of ahimsa should be consistently applied in the positive way, that is, in the direction of increasing the welfare of all living beings. He always appealed to the people to bear good intentions about the prosperity of others, to show active interest in the welfare of the needy persons and to take practical steps to ameliorate the miserable conditions of afflicted living beings, including insects, birds, animals, and men. This humanitarian approach to lessen the miseries of living beings was included in the vow of aparigraha. This vow indirectly aims at economic equalization by peacefully preventing undue accumulation of capital in individual hands. Second is theory of Aneknatavad or Syadvada. Lord Mahavira propounded the doctrine of Anekantavad, that is, many-sidedness, and showed that a thing can be considered from many points of view, as it believes that other religions also would be having some truth from their points of view. Hence, by enunciating this principle, he advocated the principle of tolerance and asserted that it could be applied to intellectual, social, religious, and other fields of activities. Syadvada aims to unify, coordinate, harmonize, and synthesize the individual viewpoints into a predictable whole. This notion highlights the role of relativity in all human thinking. This is the best means of arriving at the truth or ascertaining fundamental principles. Syadvada fosters a mindset that says things are not always as they seem, that contradictions abound in our everyday perceptions. This points out that true nature of a thing cannot be explained in absolute terms. Third is the theory of karma. The doctrine of karma occupies a significant position in Jaina philosophy. It provides a rational and satisfying explanation to the apparently inexplainable phenomena of birth and death, happiness and misery, inequalities in mental and physical attainments, and of the existence of different species of living beings. It explains that the principle governing the successions of life is karma. Our actions of body, mind, and speech bind us. Lord Mahavira convinced the people of the necessity of adopting this doctrine and of molding their entire life on the foundation of this theory. Theory of aparigraha. The principle of aparigraha, that is non-possession, is not rigorous principle of self-control. It is a realistic, practical and rational principle with a solid foundation in the societal system. The source of happiness and peace lies within the individual and not outside him. External possessions are only meant to be used and not to be owned. The ownership of everything of the world lies with nature, which is the true caretaker of everything. Ownership as mine and yours is meaningless and can be a source of conflict. The human being has tremendous energies and potentialities which are not based on external possessions. Thus, the role of possessions is limited in the life of the individual. All human passions such as anger, conceit, crookedness, attachment, ego, etc., have their roots in external objects or possessions, which create disturbance in the mind of the individual. Therefore, self-control of one's possessions and consumptions is necessary. Jaina philosophy and human quality development. Jainism insists on the necessity for the individual to develop his mind through his own spiritual efforts and to ascend to a higher level. It believes that every soul has immense power, which can be released like the nuclear energy. Following theories show the way for human quality development. Panchsheel Code of Conduct, the principle of forgiveness and compassion, and value-based management. Panchsheel Code of Conduct. Panchsheel is the fundamental principle of Jainism. Panchsheel means 5 principles or vows. These are Satya, that is being truthful; Ahimsa, avoiding injury or active non-violence in mind, speech and action; Asteya, refraining from stealing; Aparigraha, limiting one's possessions; and Brahmacharya, not having sexual activities outside marriage. So, for better understanding and remembrance, we can depict the principles of Panchsheel through this diagram. Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Aparigraha and Brahmacharya. Principle of forgiveness and compassion. At the conclusion of the Paryushan Parv, the Sravakas request each other for forgiveness for all offences committed during the last year by saying Michhami Dukkadam. Michhami means to be fruitless, forgiven, and Dukkadam means bad deeds. Therefore, the meaning of Michhami Dukkadam is my bad deeds with you become fruitless. So, concept behind saying or writing by someone Michhami Dukkadam is that if I have done any harm to you, then those bad deeds be forgiven. As forgiveness is a lubricant prescribed by saints to keep the human relationships smooth. In the same way, a manager can use it for betterment of interpersonal relationships. Value-based management. In Marganusarika, Ahimsa is equated with various virtues such as trust, harmony, peace, welfare, fairness and integration. These are important values in management philosophy and constitute the foundation for value-based management practices, which is gaining ground nowadays. Jaina philosophy and leadership development. Following are the important contributions of Jainism to the field of leadership. Jain theory of leadership, 10 qualities for a monk or manager, Ratantrayai or 3 jewels for a leader. Jain theory of leadership. According to this theory, a leader should have control over his senses if he wants to manage subordinates properly. In Jainism, the word Jain is derived from the word Jina. Jina means one who has achieved victory over the passions of his body and soul, namely external and internal. It also means to conquer, that is, a person who has conquered himself, his desires and his internal enemies like attachment and hatred, or who is a spiritual victor. Without self-discipline, any leadership style will be ineffective. A leader should always strive to keep his senses under control. Only then will he be able to keep his followers under control. Without self-management, success is unthinkable. Therefore, it is necessary to have self-control. A person who has control over his senses will look for more intrinsic rewards rather than extrinsic rewards. Each completed task or assignment will provide him a stimulus to take a new assignment. 10 qualities for a monk or manager. As per Jaina scriptures, the right behavior of a muni or a leader is immensely important. He has to be very careful in his speech, thoughts and deeds, because Others are always watching him. His conduct and behavior must be exemplary and inspiring for others. Paryushna Parv is a vrat that celebrates 10 components of the dharma as described by Umaswatiji. These 10 components are 10 qualities which a leader should possess. Noble Kshama, denoting forgiveness and forbearance. Just as a monk forgives all, in the same manner, a leader should also forgive his followers and be friendly and compassionate, free from the notion of I and my, even-minded in pain and pleasure and forgiving. He must be a friend to all living beings. The feeling of friendship brings love and respect for others. Mardava, denoting gentleness, kindness, modesty, humbleness, politeness, humility, and courtesy. A leader must have these virtues in his behavior. Arjava, denoting uprightness, honesty, integrity, frankness, straightforwardness, and sincerity. The leader should sincerely try to develop good virtues. He should not hide any information from his stakeholders and give them all information that is required. Shauch, denoting purity of spirit and conduct. The leader should be pure, wise, and impartial. It indicates freedom from hatred, ill will, and anger. He should not hate anybody. Satya, denoting truthfulness. A leader should be truthful in his dealings with others. He should be able to walk his talk. That is, he should practice what he preaches. Sanyam, denoting self-restraint, patience, tolerance, forbearance, and understanding. The leader must have control over his senses. He should remain the same towards friend or foe, in honor or disgrace, in heat or cold, in pleasure or pain. He should be indifferent or silent in censure or praise, content with anything. Tap, denoting penance, austerity, self-control, and simple life. It means burning midnight oil for achieving the goals. It also suggests the importance of hard work. Perseverance and persistence of efforts ultimately brings success. Tyag, denoting renunciation. A leader should renounce both the good and the evil and should be full of devotion. While achieving objectives of the company, one is supposed to forget everything except the goal. Akinchaya, denoting lack of possession. It also means sacrificing everything for the good of people. Brahmacharya means seeking the truth. In popular parlance, it also means chastity or moral character. A good leader should be a man of integrity and character. One small issue on this front could negate the good qualities a person has. These are the 10 ultimate virtues which a leader should possess. These 10 duties apply to the government officials such as the head of the state, ministers, political leaders, legislative and administrative officers, corporate heads, etc. Ratantrayai or 3 jewels for a leader. These are Samyak Darshan, that is proper vision, Samyak Gyan, that is proper knowledge about the external and internal environment of the business, and Samyak Charitra, that is proper conduct or right action based on the knowledge and vision. Right blending of these 3 constitutes the path of success. Modern manager should be able to integrate his vision and mission with action. Besides being action oriented, he has to integrate his right vision with right knowledge. Jaina philosophy and societal development. Following are the contributions of Jainism to the society. Aparigraha for handling societal and environmental issues, and Sarvodaya and social responsibility of business. aparigraha for handling societal and environmental issues. The problems of consumerism and environmental degradation can be tackled only by an attitude of mind, not just at individual level but at the social level. The situation lies in the limiting of desires pertaining to personal material achievements and focusing on social betterment. Limiting or controlling one's desires, one of the 5 ethical precepts of morality, which is Panchsheel, provides an answer to the crisis that mankind is facing. Aparigraha does not mean renunciation from the world for the achievement of a purely spiritual goal. It is a social goal with a social mission. Sarvodaya and social responsibility of business. In Tatvrata Sutra of Umaswati ji, there is one metaphysical truth, that is Paros Parograho Jivanam, which governs social actions. It means all life is interrelated, interdependent, and interconnected. The function of the human beings is to help each other. Paros Parograho Jivanam is the part of logo of Jains. It is a force which governs social action. Therefore, even in business, one should organize work in a harmless, friendly manner. In the Jaina text, namely Sthananga Sutra, there is discussion of Gram Dharma, Nagar Dharma and Rashtra Dharma, which means one's duty towards one's village, city and nation respectively has to be fulfilled. In Jainism, charities, donations or dhan is recognized as an important duty of a householder. There are 4 types of dhans or social responsibility which have to be performed. Ahar, that is giving food to the hungry and poor. Abhay, saving the lives of people in danger. Bhaisajya, distribution of medicines. Shastra, spreading knowledge. These charities, that is giving food to the hungry and the poor, saving the lives of people in danger, distribution of medicines and spreading knowledge, are called the Chaturvidha Dhan, that is the 4-fold gifts by Jainism, and it has been enjoined on the householders that they should make special efforts to give these charities to the needy irrespective of caste or creed. Abhay Dhan is considered as the best form of dhan. Protecting living beings is considered significant duty of human beings. So students, let's now summarize what we have studied in this module. To understand the Indian philosophy and culture in broader perspective, the study of Jainism is essential. Jainism makes significant contribution towards human quality development. It provides insights into various areas such as self-management, leadership development, and societal development. It offers some practical principles which, if followed, can help a person in dealing a balanced life. This module discussed some of the important contributions of Jainism to the world, such as principle of non-violence, non-possession, and Anekantavad. Thank you.